Hello, Empowered Woman. Welcome to this episode of the Empowered Woman podcast. Today, I'm bringing on a conversation I had with my very own voice and songwriting coach about the creative process of the 9 exclusive songs I wrote and performed as part of my newest program, the Empowered Woman Experience. I truly believe everything happens for a reason, and connecting with Melissa Cartwright was so meant to be. We have so much in common. She's a brilliant coach and is so talented. We talked about how she works with clients and also, from her perspective, what working together to birth these songs was like. I shared a sneak peek of 3 songs, but you can have all 9 of them when you enroll in the 5-day bootcamp that starts Monday. Everything will be recorded and you'll have lifetime access to it all. So don't delay. Go to marchesburg.com/experience. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Empowered Woman podcast, the #1 show on personal growth, visibility, and profit for women entrepreneurs. If you're wanting to start believing in yourself, giving yourself permission to succeed, and let your voice be heard to make an impact in the world as an entrepreneur, this is the place for you. I am so glad that you're here. My name is Marcia Spurk, and I'm your host, triplet mom, woman empowerment coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. Welcome again, and let's dive into today's episode.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining me today. This was kind of like a last-minute harebrained idea as I'm launching these songs, and you've been such an important, integral part of this. For those of you who don't know, and I'll have her introduce herself in a moment, but I always like to have my own intro. Melissa is my voice and, most recently, songwriting coach. A mentor of mine suggested, and this has been kind of an ongoing thing of me using more of the Enneagram in my coaching. And with the release of the book where I talk about the Enneagram as one of the main tools, my mentor said, why don't you write songs or some kind of meditation affirmation? And I was like, I love this, but how in the world am I going to do this? My head started, the wheels started turning. And then it was towards the end of the year when you were pausing the lessons for the holidays, you were like, and then we'll resume songwriting lessons as well. And I was like, wait, you also do that? You're going to help me with this, bring this to life. So, and then come to find out you're also very familiar with the Enneagram and the whole idea that I had in using these songs as affirmations, but also some kind of like ministry songs to help people really snap out of crappy moods and really believe in themselves. And so thank you so much for joining me. I would love for you to introduce yourself, and then we'll dive in.
Yes. Thank you again, Marta. Such a blessing to know you. We actually had a mutual connection in Allie Tyler, who's also a business consultant to voice teachers and an artist herself. And so we connected back actually in the summer, last summer. And so I'm glad that we started working together then. And so, yes, I am a voice and performance coach, but so I work with singers and songwriters. It's part of what we do for NBC Performance. And so songwriting training, any client, any singer can add that basically to their training program. And I'm glad that, you made that realization. I think it was right on time, specifically for what you wanted to work on with this project. And when you told me that it was based on the Enneagram, I was like, well, I know a little something about that. I myself am a 2-wing 3, so I totally get it. And we found out that you were a 3. And so I know. So we were like, I remember in the process, and I think you mentioned your mentor, suggesting wait to do the numbers that are closest to you last, because it is such an emotional process. So again, just so honored to invite me on this journey with you.
Yes, I'm so glad that everything worked out the way that it did. Well, before we talk about what exactly we did, I would love for you to share how you guide students in general through this process, because I feel like many people, and this is something that's been happening to me a lot as I embrace this creative journey in my business, but also through music, because I didn't really see myself as a creative. And then I started attracting lots of artists, like legit painters and people that work in the very creative, like what people envision when they say, I am a creative space. And I started understanding that I am a creative, but I wasn't really using that title for myself. So it was kind of, tricky. And it feels like when you hear about, songwriters or musicians in the process of writing a song and composing, which is not something that I went into, it was just the lyrics and the melody, obviously. It just sounds like such a daunting thing. Like, and then perfectionism, especially depending on your Enneagram type, can rear its head, and you're like, I don't know what to do. And you've made this process so easy for me. So I would love for you to share, like, what is it like? What do you do? What is this magic?
Well, there's so many ways to answer that question, because you can approach it as a blank canvas, which in and of itself is very daunting based on your personality type. But also it really becomes, I've had people tell me, and you've probably heard this too, you've kind of become my confidence coach. And because it is also very vulnerable. Yeah. This is my baby. Don't you dare tell me my baby's ugly. It's like, do you like it? And so it really comes down to a trust process of affirming that what you have to offer, you're not coming to see me because you need me to fix something for you. I want to establish that I have the blessing of working with you. Let's celebrate what you can do and bring that out of you. Of course, there's always goals that we have. There's always things we do want to improve or work on. But I quickly try to encourage my clients, my singers, my artists, that what you already have to offer is beautiful in and of itself. Okay, let's celebrate that. Now, if you want to get from here to here, come on. All right. I'm going to walk alongside you. I'm going to cheer you on. So it really does come down, of course, to the personality types, as you discussed and will discuss, and how the creative process works for a 1 versus a 2 versus a 3. There's similarities and differences, and really trying to meet them where they are. Also having the humility of knowing that I have taken you as far as I can take you. Let me show you someone else who can take you the rest of the way too. So it's just a beautiful collaborative process. That's the word, collaboration. We're not on our own doing this. We're doing it together.
Yes. Oh, I love that so much. And even with just the voice coaching part, and that's something that I wanted to bring in as well, because you are really a confidence coach. Like, some of the things that you say, even though we're talking about music, they apply to other areas of life. And there are things that I tell my clients when when I'm walking them through marketing process or growing their business or showing up more confidently. And I feel like taking the step to pick back up these lessons, these voice lessons with you, has really helped me with my confidence. And I know that's something that some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm not a singer, I could never do that. But I want to encourage people to use this as a creative outlet. If it's something that's been in your heart, maybe you're listening or watching this, and you're like, maybe I will take some lessons. Because at times we're like, if I'm not going to pursue this and be in Broadway, I should not. And right. And that's couldn't be farther from the truth. And I'm really, really grateful that I decided to do this, because really, when we step out as entrepreneurs, we are kind of like performers. We are in a vulnerable position. We are showing our baby, so to speak. Maybe it's not in song, but we are using our voice. And there is the fear of rejection. There is the fear of making that mistake. And it's so beautiful how all of this is encompassed in these songs with the Enneagram, because we're all afraid of rejection, period. But it manifests itself in different ways, right? With the perfectionism, or let me help everybody else first and I come last, or let me do more so I can get that recognition, which is the case of the 3s. And it goes on with the other types as well. So I love that you brought that up, that you are helping with confidence, because that's what you do. And that's what I do with my coaching. And that's what the songs that we collaborated on really do as well. So I would love to hear from your perspective, going through the process of, okay, what are some of the words? What is the track that you're picking? Like, tell us your thoughts, because then I'll share.
Well, specifically with your project, again, when you're coming, thankfully, in your case, it wasn't a complete blank canvas. You already had intentions of what you wanted to craft. Thanks to the Enneagram, that was a guide. And then you also had music to go with it, right? So my encouragement to you was, okay, what is the driving thought behind each mantra, each affirmation? Because then if we can identify that, that's our compass. And, in songwriting, we call that the hook of a song, which is usually the main idea. So I needed to ask you, okay, Marta, what is your main idea for for this one? And once you actually wrote out what some like rough draft lyrics would be, we then would listen to the music and see if we could craft those lyrics just using good old, rhyme composition, timing and meter. Any English majors who are watching this, they get it, just like we would be analyzing a piece in English class. Well, the same goes for this process too, because you do want it to be appealing to the ear. And in songwriting creation, the biggest goal, well, two big goals. You want it to feel like it really truly was a piece of you that you created, your most authentic form in song. And can the audience walk away remembering what they just heard or humming what they just heard after one listen? And I think that's definitely going to be the case for you with these affirmations.
Excited. I know, because even with me just listening, like recording or just trying it out during our sessions, I was already repeating it to myself. And that's exactly the goal that I had. And so shameless plug.
Go for it.
This is what I talk about in my book. And it's on chapter 2, which is the second step in the Empowered Woman path, called Listen to Yourself. I talk about the different types of self-talk that each of the types tend to repeat to themselves, a negative self-talk. So for example, for type 1 is, you missed a spot. It's not good enough. You have to fix the world. So then we worked on creating the opposite. So telling this person that is the type 1 that imperfect is perfect and just let it go. Just accept, just forgive, not focus on the mistakes or on the missed spots, and have that be that mantra or that affirmation that they're going to repeat to themselves. I'm imperfect and that is perfect. And to keep saying that. And what I love about all of this is that even though this is specifically to those types, all of us could use this. This is not exclusive for one person. How many of us, even though our main Achilles heel is not perfectionism or wanting to fix everything, how many of us catch ourselves feeling stuck because we want things to be done a certain way, so we don't put it out there, whether it be at work or with our businesses or whatever. So I really loved how you helped me with that. And then your knowledge of the Enneagram too. You were like, oh, I feel like for this type, there is this certain word. And then you even got your rhyming dictionary. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Here it is. This is just the pocket version
of it.
But there are bigger versions out there. Yeah. So good, again, and also too, we found that, like, you just to, support what you were just saying, that there were many that were very similar based on how they do process stress and how you're wanting to encourage and combat that. So we kind of, not to make it all sound like it's not always easy. It's inspiration and perspiration. And so we had to go back and really assess which one deserves this better, or which one truly is the essence of this number. Maybe that track this sounds too similar to this track. Let's go back and research. So yeah, it's a process, but it's a good one.
Hi, Anita. Thank you so much for joining us. So I do want to share a couple of excerpts, because I did put, wait, before I say anything. So, because you were saying it was not a blank canvas, because I had some ideas, and also because I wanted to do this as soon as possible as part of the launch of my book and the boot camp that I'm starting next Monday. And I didn't want to have to compose songs and have to perform and, play the piano. It would be way too involved. So my decision was, I'm going to use some royalty-free tracks, because the purpose is for it to be a meditation. I'm not going to post this on Spotify or on YouTube. They're going to be part of the boot camp and the experience that I'm launching next week. So that helped, because it was just a matter of, these are the lyrics, kind of roughly. Let's listen to the melody. And you also helped me pick the ones that reflected the lyrics and the type based on also your knowledge of the Enneagram. And then we were kind of like humming through it. And then we decided, this is it. And then afterwards, when I went to record, I started singing it several times, deleting, singing it again. And then that's how I got stuck in my head. I started sharing with some friends who are some of the types, and they were messaging me back in tears saying, this is amazing. Wow. I was buried in work and this just snapped me out of it and helped me, you know, stay focused again. So I know this is going to have many ripples, but let me see if I can share my screen. And if the sound is good enough really quickly. And then I'm going to listen to it and then pause. So this is the bootcamp that I talked about. It's going to be 5 days starting Monday. Then I'm going to walk you through each of the steps that is in the book. So if you've bought the book or if you've read the book, or if not, because I know some people are not readers, and I am going to do audible versions soon here. So stay tuned. The idea is to really help you implement, help you break it down, help you embody the teachings that are on there. And that's why I added the songs. So as a bonus, you have 9 songs, but here are 3 of the songs. So this first one, Take Up Space, and I need to remember, this one is for type 5, the investigative type, people that are very analytical, that want to know all of the things, taking action, not a forte. They're just like sitting in the sidelines. They end up feeling a little bit like an odd duck. So this is the encouragement for them to take up space. So let's listen to it and you let me know if you can hear it good.
Take a step, take action, take a space, satisfaction.
Copyright.
Show yourself. Take a step, take action, take a space, satisfaction.
Do you remember?
So jazzy.
Let me know. So jazzy. Let me know your thoughts, because you haven't heard any of these after I recorded them.
Oh, I know. No, I love the vibe, and the whole intent is that, as gorgeous as your voice is that we could listen to all day, you know, you wanted there to be pauses and breaths to process. And I feel like that's exactly what it does. Yay!
I love it so much. This next one is for type 6. So the type that tends to struggle with trust, with security. Safety is a very important theme. And also trust in self, trust in others. So that's why I'm calling it I'm Safe Now. That's part of the affirmation.
I love it.
Trust yourself. You're safe now. Let it flow freely. Relax.
Copyright.
Oh, I remember us coming up with that melody. It's still so, again, comforting.
Right. And one of the things that it was going to continue on playing, I don't know if it was in this excerpt or not, that I decided to do, and you were like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant, to add some more substance to it, is putting it in the first person. So every single song, we start with the directive, right? Do this, you know, take up space, trust yourself. And then at the end of the song, I encourage you to sing along by saying, I trust myself, or I take up space. I'm going to take action, to encourage you to not only repeat that, but also be like, all right, I'm going to do this. I got it.
I love it.
And finally, this is a favorite because it's more upbeat, is for type 7s. This was the first one that we did, I think.
This is the one that was stuck in I know it was stuck in my head all weekend. We worked on this on a Saturday, and the entire weekend I was like kind of swaying to the whole melody in my head.
Because it's bossa-y. All right.
Yes!
Hold on, wait here. Let's feel everything. Don't miss out on what is happening now. Just breathe. Be in your body. Let's feel everything.
Yeah.
Let's feel everything. Oh, so yummy.
And that's good for, again, not only type 7s, but everybody. I mean, who doesn't
Really?
with being present these days?
Be present. I'm down for that.
Amazing. Well, like I said, you can check out all of it. I just played a little bit of the excerpts here at smartestbook.com/experience. Take a look at, you know, what ladies are saying about the programs and working with me. And I already shared the links here in the post. But thank you so much, Melissa. I would love for you to share a little bit more about working with you, what that looks like, whether it be in the voice coaching capacity or songwriting capacity. And please leave your contact info afterwards.
Yes, I will definitely. I will leave it in the comments, but you can find me at nbcperformance.com. We offer both in studio. I teach out of Newport News, Virginia, but we have a hybrid model. So obviously, I get to work with singers and clients all over the world. You can get on my waiting list for private sessions for vocal training, audition prep, songwriting sessions. You can subscribe to my newsletter, which there's something special I'm cooking up too. Hopefully we'll launch in the spring as well, but make sure you get on that list. You can follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well at NBC Performance.
Amazing. Go connect with Melissa because she's great. And before I wrap up, I would love to hear from you from the backstage perspective. Why would you encourage ladies to join me next week for the experience and to have these songs to listen to?
Yes. I mean, well, hopefully I'm a very, obviously visual, communicator. We're both Latinas. So, it's like that's in our blood too. But I mean, just there were some emotional moments when you say, even in the creation process where both of us, I could see Marta, she could look at me and our eyes were getting a little glassy, but it's because we were really feeling encouraged and feeling affirmed. And so no matter where you are in your process, in your own personal journey, in your business, maybe being a part of this experience with Marta is really going to solidify some personal goals and aspirations that you have for yourself and solidifying your identity, who you are. And then knowing that gives you the confidence then in what you're going to offer as an entrepreneur. So go check her out. You will not regret it. And she's just so fun anyway, so there you go.
Thank you so much. So are you. I so appreciate you taking the time to chat with us, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
We have our session. It's the finish.
Our next session.
Put the bow on it.
So much.
Thank you.
Bye.
How fun was that? Isn't she amazing? And aren't the songs pretty cool? Go connect with Melissa. Check her out. She has such amazing content on her Instagram. I'm going to put all the links in the show notes. Do follow her. And if you've been inclined into taking voice lessons, whether you want to perform or not, just do it. It's such a fun process to increase confidence and to tap into your creative side, your vulnerability. Highly recommended. She's incredible. And again, join us for the experience. You heard what she said. I'm fun. The songs are amazing. And this will really help you step into your own power, get to know yourself more. And really what I believe and my goal with all of this is to launch the empowered woman within. She's in there. So let's step into her. Let's allow her to come out. And this is what we're going to be doing for 5 days in the Empowered Woman Experience, starting Monday, January 24th. Like I said, if you're not able to participate live, everything's going to be live streamed in a Facebook group. Everything's going to be recorded and put up on a portal. So it's going to be in a course format that you can revisit. And fun fact, if you join in this time around, even if you can't catch up every single day and you want to do it in your own time, next time I open this up, which I do intend to do because it's always going to be attached to my book, you get to participate live with us. So hop on in and you'll have access to future rounds as well. Alrighty, so martasburke.com/experience. All the links are in the show notes. Until next time, bye.